Hello, world history students. It's Mr. Hofer, along with Mr. Lura, here to bring you a simulation on the rise of nationalism and revolutionary movements in Europe in the second half of the 19th century. As we've learned, the French Revolution, though it was not successful for the people of France, did trigger a wave of nationalism. That sense that people wanted to create governments for their local culture, their local needs, their local values around what the best kind of government should be is sparked when the Napoleonic Empire, the Grand Empire, starts to collapse and people realize they don't want to be French. They don't necessarily want to be Russian. They don't want to be English. They want a government and culture shaped around the will of the people, by the people, and for the people, just like had happened in North America a few decades before. And so, while again, the French Revolution is not successful, in fact, there's a conservative backlash to that with the Vienna Congress. That does not stop the people of Europe for pushing for greater amounts of national identity. And so, after reading chapter 23, lesson 2, dealing with nationalism and political revolutions, we're ready to lead a revolution of our own. We're going to be doing that through a simulation, online simulation called Nation States. Now, if you're in Mr. Hofer's room, you've already been exposed to this particular game. If you're not, then you're going to get a chance to check out what everybody else has been talking about. This Nation States game is great, you guys. This is a chance for you to be in the captain's seat of a revolution to help shape the form of a government and society that your people of your fictitious land get to, want to, have to live under. So you're going to get a chance to decide whether you want to be the leader of a free nation or whether you want to be the total dictator of an autocratic nation. And we're going to see how those countries that we in the World History Department create come and interact with one another on a larger scale. And so this is the beginning of a several step process. And so today, what I want to show you is how to get your nation state set up. First, click the New Nation tab. Okay. When you do that, you're automatically going to be asked a series of questions. Now, some of these terms, as far as what type of nation you want to have, sound familiar. For example, we've talked about what liberalism is. We've talked about the alternative, conservatism. And you can see each time you make a choice, a certain level of freedom is either given or taken away. Now, our personal freedom, our economic freedom, and our political freedoms, those are general categories. Personal freedoms might be something like freedom of speech, okay, that you have the right to say whatever you want to say without the government throwing you in jail. Economic freedom. We know that with John Locke, you had the right to life, liberty, and property. And the government shouldn't be taking your property away through taxes or any kind of legislative action without the will of the people. In a conservative nation, you're going to have more economic freedom than you might in a liberal one. And then, of course, political freedoms. Who can vote, right? Is voting restricted based on age, race, sex, national origin, citizenship, that type of thing. And so as you click these different titles, you can see different levels of political freedom as a baseline for your country. You don't like being told what to do? How about anarchy? You hate the idea that people would be able to choose for themselves how to behave, and you want to limit freedom because freedom is chaos? How about a tyranny? Whatever you choose, entirely up to you and your goals as this leader, director of a new nation state. After you've chosen from this category, there's about 10 more questions that you need to answer. This is all about establishing a baseline biography. You do that, and then you're going to move forward. I'm just randomly choosing here. Don't judge me based on what I picked. I'm going to hit next. And Now I'm asked for some more biographical information. Give your country a name. Decide what its flag should look like. You can pick from any of the flags that already exist around the world, or you'll eventually be able to upload your own personal flag. Mine's the Bennington logo. Your currency, I think my nation state's currency is right now like the wood chip. I see here someone put fingernails, horseshoes. It really doesn't matter. It's all for fun. Your country's motto. What's a motto? Nothing. What's a motto with you? Sorry. And then use your school email, your password. They will not send you a ton of spam or anything like that. In fact, I think our school filter will filter out any spam from nation states. But when you're done, hit create nation, and it's going to create this new nation state based on your interests and your choices. We now have this really neat looking personalized platform. You can see that based on the choices that I made, my government is a New York Times democracy. That means that there's quite a bit of personal and political freedoms, and that there's some, but not overly excessive economic controls on my country. Now that you've created your country, you need to get to work as a world leader. You need to solve your people's problems. You didn't get into office to just sit around. You got there to be a problem solver. And so up here on the top bar is a tab that says issues. You got issues, and your people have issues, so you need to go there and solve those issues right away. So you click on that, and you're going to see a number of different things your people want you to address. Give a badger a bone. Oh, let's take a look at what that is. So when you open up an issue, it's going to give you a situation. Most of these situations mix humor with some real decision making. You'll be given multiple choices as far as how you want to address that situation. You pick one. In this case, they're talking about how military dogs or military animals should receive awards as well as health care. And if I agree with that, then there are going to be consequences to my actions. So, for example, by agreeing that military animals ought to be cared for by the government, we see that the welfare safety net has increased. People's lifespans, because of better safety, has increased. But at the same time, we've had some unintended consequences. For example, the average disposable income of the people living in my community, because taxes are going to go up, has also dropped. The more of these decisions you make, the more custom tailored your country is for your community. Here's what this last step is going to be. Over here, when you click on your country's flag and you see region, it tells you that you belong to a region that probably isn't Badgerland 20. That's where you want to be. That's where all Badgers want to be. So click on your region. And the way you switch over to Badgerland 20 is, first of all, there's a link. You can Control F, find it really quickly. And the keyword I want you to type in is tired. And you'll see a link here, tired of life in, and whatever your region is. Let's say it's the Pacific. Doesn't matter. You're going to click that green link. Okay. Now it says, oh, are you looking to move out of this region? Find a new region. So up here in the top right, you're going to search for Badgerland 20, one word. Okay. And hit search. And you're going to be brought to Badgerland 20. Now, I'm already a member, but you will see a link here. I think it's in red, that says move your country to Badgerland 20, ? And you want to hit that and say yes, and you'll join the rest of your fellow Badgers with me. Okay? I'll explain why it's important down the road as to why you would ever want to be in an online community with all your friends and teachers in this nation states game at another time. Okay? For now, work on getting your country set up, make those decisions under the issues tab, and migrate your new country into the universe of Badgerland 20. This is Mr. Hofer saying we'll catch you next time.